Dunning. I'm the director of the Urban Resources Initiative in New Haven, and I'm here to talk with you about the problem of invasive vines, like you see behind me on trees near Hemingway Creek here. Invasive vines are really starting to destroy our forest cover in New Haven and elsewhere. And it's so critical that we not only plant trees for the future, but we protect the trees that we have. The heart of our work at URI is engaging volunteers to take on projects that they personally care about through our Community Green Space program. So our ambition is to try to tackle these invasive vines with the many volunteers in New Haven who are stewards of our parks and other open spaces and street trees in New Haven. But we want to make sure that we make this opportunity available to everyone in our city. And sometimes that's not through people having an ability to invest in volunteer efforts, but rather to also make other pathways for engagement, like through our Green Job program. Our ambition is to try to involve everyone in New Haven to play a role in this important project. You're going to hear from the rest of our small team at URI. Our group includes Chris Ozick, Carol Scanlon, Will Tisdale, Anna Pickett, and Matt Vines.
Hi everyone. As you just heard from Colleen, one of the biggest threats to the health of our forests is that posed by problem vines. These vines can outcompete mature trees for sunlight, they can physically weigh down and topple trees, and they can also prevent the successful regrowth of new trees. As such, it's important for us to focus on their removal in an effort to preserve and promote the health of our forests. Some of our biggest offenders, such as bittersweet, porcelain vine, and Japanese honeysuckle, are invasives, but that's not always the case. There are some vines that are native to southern New England, like wild grape and Virginia creeper, that can pose problems for trees as well. In this short video that follows, I'm going to specifically focus on two of the most common and most likely to be problematic vines, bittersweet and wild grape. But there are a number of resources available online and through the UR website to identify a wider range of vines that I encourage you to check out. Hi everyone, this is Matt Vines. I am one of the Green Skills Program Managers with URI. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about vine ID. Specifically, we're going to focus on the two main problem vines that, one, are pretty common in our forests, small forest landscapes in this area, and two, they're vines that are likely to pose problems to both mature and young trees, and are therefore going to be a focus of some of our actual removal work. So here right next to me, you actually have a great example of both of them side by side, and these two vines are Oriental Bittersweet, which is a non-native invasive vine, and Wild Grape, which is actually a native vine. I know ID specifically in the winter can seem pretty daunting, but if you see them side by side, there are actually a lot of differences and it's fairly easy to distinguish. So Oriental Bittersweet on the left here is this lighter colored vine. It's almost a light grayish color, and you can see it has all these darker pock marks or lenticels on it. It's also got a fairly smooth bark. Grape, on the other hand, to the right, is a much darker brown, and it's got this really shreddy bark appearance. If you grab it and pull it, it'll very easily come off in your hand. So if you do happen to see them side by side, they're really easy to distinguish. They're not always side by side though, so if you see shreddy, dark, you should be thinking grape. If you're seeing light, smooth, then you should be thinking bittersweet.
All right, I'm Chris Ozick. I'm the Associate Director for Urban Resource Initiative, and I'm out here doing one of my favorite things, removing vines off of trees to save them. Here we have an elm tree, we have a maple over there, we have a mulberry that's died, and then over here, Matt, as you pan over, that's a honey locust and tuned in vines. And then all through this forest here, we have a number of trees that have succumbed to the vines. And in the distance there, I can see a bird, maybe a robin. The idea is that we need to save our forest, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do that today. Two of the tools that I use the most when I'm out walking and hiking is my clippers and my handsaw. And I use my handsaw to pull the vines to me, to clip them, which makes it a lot easier than getting into it. But essentially what we want to do is we want to remove all the vines from as low as we can up to about 6 feet, because that's the laddering. That's the area where if a vine does reemerge, it'll be able to climb very quickly back up into the tree. So normally what I do is I cut the stuff down low first, clip out anything around here that's in my way or in my face. I clip that out, and then as I clip this, it'll drop to the ground and I stomp on it. As important as saving the large trees is to think about the next generation of trees that are going to come up, especially in areas where we've lost trees. And one of the things that we like to do is we want to remove the lower laddering branches on this up to 5 feet also if you can. Stomp down everything around it. Make sure that there's nothing coming up near it. And then put a ribbon on it. And by putting a little pink ribbon on here, shows people to keep an eye on this as they walk through the forest to save it if anything starts growing back up. So again, just clip away. They don't have to be perfect cuts, but we're trying to save it, and then we just want to put a ribbon on it. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Caro. I am the Green Skills Manager here at Urban Resources Initiative, and this morning I have been devining in East Rock Park with Chris and Matt and Will, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why it feels so good to liberate trees and why it's important to have a healthy forest. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is recreation. I'm someone who loves to recreate in the forest. And so having a healthy forest with good sightlines, healthy, thriving trees means a lot to me as someone who has found a lot of peace in being able to have a beautiful forest to walk through, especially in this challenging time. Trees also provide all of these incredible, what we call ecosystem services. They're working hard for us and providing benefits that are hard to quantify but critical for our well-being. So 2 of those ecosystem services that a healthy forest provides are water filtration and air filtration. So the more leaves that a healthy tree has, the more particulates, pollution it can take out of the air and prevent from going into our lungs. Also, a strong root system can prevent soil, other sediments from eroding into the river, also toxins and other pollutants. So a healthy forest means that we have healthy air to breathe and healthy water systems for habitat and our drinking water. So I'm standing next to this newly liberated oak tree, which is not only providing acorns, nuts for squirrels and other rodents, but also is host to hundreds of different insects that feed migratory birds in this forest ecosystem. It also is, through the process of photosynthesis, converting carbon dioxide into wood and oxygen and mitigating the harmful effects of climate change. So it's not only important that we invest in planting new trees to grow our urban forest, but also protecting existing trees like this oak tree here to make sure that we are contributing to a thriving urban forest that can provide us all of the benefits that we rely on.
Hello, my name is William Tisdale. I work for URI. I'm here to give you information about tool maintenance and vine removal. The first thing you should know that you have to wear the proper clothes, proper boots, safety goggles if you don't want any dust to get in your eyes or from the tree. Third thing you should know is this is called a hand pruner. We use this to prune the trees. This is called a pruning saw. We use this to prune the tree to cut the vines with this right here. These are loppers. Also good to have when you're doing cutting trees, vines, and branches. Okay, I just want to give you a little more information about the tools. We like to put this ribbon on the tool because you put it down in the snow or in the ground somewhere you can lose it. But this ribbon is like a flag, so you can always keep an eye on it. Nice color. You don't want to put your tools in the ground, your blades in the ground, because you dull them out. So you might have to get new blades. This is the way you take the blade off by the screw right here. Just unscrew it, switch the blade, put it back in. This is W40. I like to use this to clean the tools, to keep them from getting rusted. This also is another chemical that we use to clean the tools with too. Works very well. Always keep your tools clean. You take care of your tools, they take care of you.
Hi, my name is Anna Pickett. I've been working at URI for over a decade and I'm very excited about this project. I've been out removing vines with Chris along the Mill River with my family and it is seriously fun and very satisfying work. Now that you've heard about this project, I bet you're wondering how you can get involved. This project is for everyone. We need volunteers, we need supporters, and we need advocates. Visit patronicity.com/URI to learn more. Make a donation or sign up to volunteer. And please share this video and talk to your friends about the importance of removing invasive vines to save our trees. Thank you.